the administration's like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, these students, these parents, they're protesting for no reason. Like, they're not getting bit and licked by humans in cat costumes. I don't know what you're talking about. It took like all of 5 seconds for the internet to find pictures and video of furries in this middle school. This segment is brought to you by Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. Sick of fad diets that work for a couple months and then you gain all the weight back? Well, I'm down 37 pounds on the Eastside Weight Loss Clinic program, and I've kept that weight off for more than a year. Schedule your free 15-minute consultation today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. I just don't know, having worked in mainstream television, if this was my assignment that I was given, I don't think I could do it with the level of seriousness that this reporter pulls off. Completely deadpan. So there is a Utah middle school embroiled in controversy, as you'll hear from this news report, because some students and parents say furries have taken over their classrooms.
Nearly 75 students and parents showed up facing the school, saying they're unhappy with how administration is handling reports of harassment.
Okay. You guys cannot record me without my permission!
This is video a Nebo Middle School student took last week. Parents say there's an issue between some students and others who call themselves furries, or people who enjoy dressing up as cartoonish animals.
Back when I went to school, you couldn't dress that way, you couldn't do certain things, and I think it kind of needs to go back a little bit. Like, I know kids need their own personalities, but it's ridiculous when kids are dressing like animals and licking and biting people. I just don't think that's okay.
But the Nebo School District tells us it's not that extreme. Seth Sorensen says no one was scratching or biting anyone, and that there are a lot of untrue rumors going around.
It actually is not something that's been occurring. In fact, a lot of the information that's been put out there is completely incorrect and inaccurate, and so we're still trying to get on top of that.
Thank you.
This is Strudel, a member of the furry fandom. Though they've been a furry for over a decade, they have their own opinions.
It's crazy that it's escalated to this point where these kids are being so distracting to their peers that their peers want to stage a walkout. So to have, the next generation kind of muddy our name and not represent it very well, it is kind of disappointing.
Strudel believes there should be some limits.
Continue doing things you like, continue dressing up, continue making art, but maybe let's keep it outside of school hours.
Even Strudel agrees. Don't lick and bite your fellow students. What I think is funny, and what the internet quickly discovered, is the administration's like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, these students, these parents, they're protesting for no reason. Like, they're not getting bit and licked by humans in cat costumes. I don't know what you're talking about. It took like all of 5 seconds for the internet to find pictures and video of furries in this middle school. This guy named Adam Bartholomew on Twitter said, it's funny how the fake news, and they tagged the Salt Lake Tribune and KSL, which are big stations in Utah, couldn't be bothered to interact with the parents involved. Only ABC4 Utah did, and they aired video directly contradicting the school administration. If Halloween masks aren't allowed to be worn on school property, neither should these, referring to this little cat mask that somebody was wearing. And then Libs of TikTok breaking, photos have surfaced of furries in Nebo School District in Utah. The media and a spokesperson for the school are claiming it's not happening. Definitely don't share this thing that we have photos of that's totally not happening. Again, it's too much. What is this? What is this? And why do adults abide? Why do adults abide?
I don't understand what's separating these administrators from
reality.
Parents. Well, they're adults. You're all adults. Why are the administrators so ridiculous and out of control? Where are they getting this?
And in Utah,
are they being threatened behind the scenes?
Well, I think there's always a concern about speaking out. Like, oh, are furries?
Yes.
If I speak out about the furries, is that like the same as speaking out about a trans person or a gay person? Because they lump them all together, right?
But I don't get that. That's not common sense.
No, I know.
So what school are they going to that teaches them that they have to be this ridiculous all of a sudden? Because this is not, this is new. This is in the last few years.
Oh, 100%.
We're ridiculous. So all these different aged adults that are just like, we got to be ridiculous now and support these ridiculous children.
Like, and how
they're
far?
ridiculous.
I mean, you have multiple students who say they're getting bit by the furries.
Yeah, and kids are real good about lying and like coming together in groups. I mean, there was 100 kids out on the street protesting this and claiming they've seen and interacted with all of these kids that are fighting with them because they, say they're ridiculous for wearing masks to school and whatever. But yeah, kids, I'm sure, could really get everybody together and this lump it in this big lie. Like,
junior high.
They're telling you what happened.
Just wild. Just wild. Well, I wonder if the school has to come out and say, okay, maybe this is happening and we just don't see it or something, which is ridiculous. But I mean, this isn't a school environment. When I was in school, not only would we not have been allowed to wear a cat or dog costume, like what is that? But also, I mean, we had restrictions on how short your shorts could be and like your sleeves and how much cleavage you were showing. This is just basic stuff. I saw something, I don't remember who it was on Twitter that posted it, but for instance, with the walkouts and the really anti-Jewish sentiment, at some point I was thinking, well, how can, parents and educators allow this? But then I think they probably agree with it. We forget that, especially in Washington. I'm not saying that's the case in Utah, because that seems very strange for Utah. But here, some of the kids, that's going to be a reflection of probably what they're taught at home, what their parents do. I mean, obviously, there is enough of a population here where our elected leaders who are Democrats can get away with not saying anything about this stuff. And it's because there's a lot of voters who feel that way. So for every, far left voter, there's a parent, there's kids associated with them, and there's teachers. We already know that schools are just a absolute train wreck with woke ideology. So they want the kids to walk out and protest Israel.
Yeah. I think it's also the parenting thing. It goes both or two different ways in this situation, because I think those kids that are dressed as animals going to school and being ridiculous, that's a lack of parenting. Those parents are not involved.
100%.
Those parents are not saying, this is how I can raise a productive human in society, because you're raising animals. But I also think that the protesting children, I appreciate the parents that are there supporting them, but they're not going to administration. And that's what the administration is saying. We welcome parents to come and talk to us, because they're saying these parents are just sending their kids out to protest. Well, that's also not the only solution in this case. Yeah. Maybe you should try your words. Maybe you should actually interact with somebody before you go to the street and protest other children at the school or whatever. So I actually think it's a breakdown in parenting right now that is on both sides and everywhere, because parents are, do what you need to do.
Well, you be your special snowflake. And it's no, you can't dress as a cat. No. Take it off.